last week I thought, a couple guys that really stood out were Payne. He graded the highs on the defense. I mean, he was just outstanding. I mean, the highs of the year. And along with him up front, you had Da and J.K. They all graded really well in the midline. Bobby, he graded out really well, and then on the back end it was Sean and Trey. And so I thought we did a nice job, and we've done a nice job all year on first down, stopping the run. So that's produced more 2nd and 7+, which gives us the ability to rush the passers. I think we produced the 4th most 2nd and 7+, and the 3rd most 3rd and 11+.
We got back to the basics. DQ preach physicality and playing tough and coming downhill, and I thought our guys responded.
Noah, still kind of a question mark. Terry, a question mark. How much changes, without giving away secret stuff, how much changes when or if those guys are out?
Yeah, they're two really good players, so anytime you lose two of your top guys, if they're not able to go, then you got to be creative and find ways to get other guys touches. And we have some young guys that are ascending, and if they have to play, then I'm sure they'll step up. But you definitely, when you have two guys that have been reliable, made a lot of plays in this league, you got to find other ways to get guys touches and move the football any way you can.
All right, so moving on to the injury report. We're going to start with ours, of course. And obviously, all the guys who rested yesterday off the injury report. So Deron Payne, Laramie Tunsil, Zach Ertz, they're all off it. John Bates, Noah Brown, Percy Butler, and Terry weren't practicing today. That's not a surprise. They're probably not going to play Sunday's game. Not a surprise at all. Didn't think any of those guys would play. What is a surprise, however, is to see Bill a DNP today. Now, it was reported by reporters like Nicky Jabal and John Kime that Bill was spotted, fully dressed in practice uniform. However, he did not practice today, which is interesting. Right now, I still think he'll be fine. Jeremy Fowler and Adam Schefter both reported that, it's nothing major for Bill. He's feeling better. He woke up a little sore after the game, in his knee. He is feeling better, though. Maybe they're just being super cautious with him. DQ was like that with him back in training camp or the preseason, actually, when he got banged up a little bit after the first preseason game, right? So, maybe they're just doing that with him. However, seeing him on the injury report, DNP, 2nd straight day in a row, isn't super ideal, but I still think Bill will be fine for Sunday's game against Atlanta. And then as for the rest of the injury report, Jay Daniels limited again, knee. Obviously, we'll see, how it goes tomorrow. I think he's going to play now. There is still a possibility that he doesn't play, There's a possibility that they say, hey, let's rest him one more week. One more week won't hurt, and we feel like we can win with Marcus Mariota at quarterback, right? Maybe they feel like that. But, however, I feel like this will be the week that Jaden finally goes. So, I think he's going to play this week, but we'll see tomorrow. And then Trey Amos and Quincy Yankoff, they were both participants today in practice. Trey Amos was limited yesterday, but full today, so that's good. With the calf injury, he should be good to go for Sunday's game, as well as Colson Yankoff. Didn't think anything was super wrong with him. He'll be good to go for Sunday's game as well. So tomorrow will be a big day with some of these injuries, right? Bill, if he practices tomorrow, I expect him to practice tomorrow, and I expect him to be ready for Sunday's game. And then Jaden's the big one, right? Will he start? Will he not start? We shall see. But DQ will give us more updates tomorrow ahead of Sunday's game versus the Falcons. And then for the Falcons, pretty much everyone on here, they have 4 DNPs. One of them is due to a personal reason, so it's really real 3 DNPs. AJ Terrell, he's probably not going to play with a hamstring injury, so that's a huge loss for them. However, our receiver one's going to be out, so, not say that mitigates that loss, but we won't get to see our receiver one versus their cornerback one, right? So, that sucks right there. And then their other 2 DNPs will probably be out. Everybody else for them, however, will be fine, most likely for Sunday. So they are pretty much fully healthy, besides Adrian Terrell. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up to the channel, and turn on notifications. Comment down below your thoughts on anything I talked about in today's video. And other than that, it's Big K Sean, and I'm out. Peace.